Alright, we should be live. We're back. We're working on Terra, Magical Adept. Here's her front face and her back face. Hopefully for the last time, because we only have 14 more cuts to make. Pre-release was an actual bust. Like, my brother and I were literally the only two people that showed up at the place that we've been playing at. It's depressing as hell. But on the bright side, we get to work on Terra, so there's that. Yeah. Okay. So 14 more cuts. Yeah, I did that part already. Edit out the pause and the pop-up from my thing. Both trying to show up in the middle of the VOD. Alright. 14 more cards. Most, if not everything, has its reason for being here and probably needs to stay. Animate Dead, Demonic Tutor, Mana Vault, Soul Ring and Swords, Mana Drain, maybe. The deck is very mana hungry, but Mana Drain is a stretch on the mana base, and I do have other things. Other counter spells. Maybe it is just Mana Drain. I have plenty of other ways to ramp. And it's not like if I Mana Drain something for a ton, I'm going to be able to suddenly cast Terra, flip her, and do all the things at once. Like, super early in the game. I'm still going to need to have developed out a board. Like, sometimes you Mana Drain... Like, somebody gets a really fast start, and you Mana Drain their big spell, and then you get to, slam like a Karn or a Ugin or a whole bunch of Mana Rocks or something. And you're just miles ahead now, or at least caught back up to them. And sometimes you Mana Drain, and it's like, okay, I get to cast like one spell, and that's pretty strong. And our deck doesn't have the first thing, so unless we're already developed a bit, because we need the colored mana for everything. So maybe Mana Drain. I need to think about it a little bit more, but Dance of the Dead, Nature's Lure, Enlightened Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Scroll Rack, Carpet of Flowers, Worn Power Stone, Grim Monolith, Replenish. Aura Shards, Fires of Yavimaya, Ladmeri's Call, Rari's Wake. Like, is it possible I cut after going back and adding it in Recruiter of the Guard for a Ladmeri's Call, since it's 1 mana less, but I don't get the 1/1 out of it, but I do get instant speed, and it's 2 mana to tutor any creature. Like, I'd rather leave Imperial Recruiter in, because then, since red and green are the two colors I need earliest most of the time, it's like red, green, and blue usually, and then black and white later on. Unless I have something very specific I need to do to set up. Maybe. Like, I'm trying to figure out where we're going to get these cuts from. So it's like, well, what can I afford to cut? Ferrari's Wake. Lightning Greaves. O-Stone. I think I can cut Eternal Witness. Like, Terra self-mills, so not having a way to buy back things that got milled that she doesn't automatically bring back. I only get one enchantment on the front face, so if I flip, like, multiples even, It's like replenish and Ewit are the only two ways to get anything back. That's not entirely true. We can get back creatures, but we can't get back like artifacts, enchantments, whatnot without the Eternal Witness. Again, I'm wondering if Ewit should just be regrowth, but that's still a lateral move. Having her be a creature does let me trigger what's its name more often, and makes her tutorable with the with the two recruiters. So maybe the two recruiters and Aladmari's Call can all go grab her. So or they can actually grab regrowth. On the other hand, it would be cheaper. Hauling is still questionable. I don't want to cut too many tutors. It's a combo deck. Farseek. And Reflection. Path to Exile. Beast Within. Perforos. Swan Song. Erebos. The biggest problem with Agent of Erebos is I can't do it in response to some sort of looping combo the way I can with Scavenging Ooze. Like, they can't try to do the combo while Scavenging Ooze is out. They can theoretically try and do the combo if they're not worried about a flash enchantment, which, you know, if you played against this deck enough, you're going to realize I don't think I have any of those, so very unrealistic for Age of Erebos to interrupt combos. Be just the one Graveyard Hate card then. It is nice to disrupt other players' graveyard shenanigans, even preemptively, you know, giving them time to put other stuff in the graveyard to work with. If they just lose the things that they have now, sometimes that buys a lot of time, but I think I have room for a second just Graveyard Hate card by itself. Our Resurgence, Cutthroat, Disallow. Helm of the Host gets to stay. Even though it might be one of the worst ways to do the combo, it's still one of the ways to do the combo, so. And they do still get to attack, unlike some of the other ones that we've cut, like Sean. But even Delina's staying, so. Helm of the Host should probably stay. Although Delina has the benefit of not costing any mana once the combo's set up. Whereas Helm is another 5 mana I need to spend, plus possibly the 4 mana from casting it in the same turn. Trophy, Smothering Tithe, Casualties of War, Spark Double, Teferi, stop them from messing with me, Wishclaw Talisman to tutor, Conquer's Death, Bastion, Nina, Massacre, well, Safekeeping, Offer You Can't Refuse, Terra Sunder, Duplimancy, Reprieve. It might still be Reprieve. Probably keeping the One Ring, but maybe that can go. This is Folly stays, Stroke of Midnight, Iena. Balin the Haymaker stays. Victory. Real Recruiter, 3 Visits, Grim Tutor, Grand Abolisher. Tutor of the Guard. I cut Recruiter of the Guard. Maybe take a look at the tutors. Here's Nightblade, Irenicus's Vile Duplication, Scavenging Ooze, Arcane Signet, Darksteel Mutation, Windgrace's Judgment, Fierce Guardianship, Deflecting SWAT, Unexplained Absence, the Autumn Soldier, Quantum Misalignment, and that's it. Combo. Drain Swan Song, Disallow to Fairy. Cameo, Offer, Voice of Victory, Grand Abolisher, Fierce Guardianship, Deflecting SWAT. I don't know, maybe with me trying to go for the combo kill, I don't have room for Disallow. Like, I can still counter most combos. It takes a very specific combination of things to stop me from being able to counter. Well, not very specific, I guess. Mistrise Village will do it. But if I'm going for the infinite combo, maybe I don't have room for the thing that stops other people's really wonky infinite combos that get around most of the other ways to stop things. Also, Reprieve is not down here. Alright. Thinking Disallow and Reprieve can go. Still leaves me with 11 cuts, but, you know. Progress. Right, let's look at the tutor. Well, hang on. Let's get rid of these three. I guess it's easier to get rid of these three. Clear all, and then down here for the tutors. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. We get rid of Grim Tutor because the double black. You get rid of Grim Tutor because of double black, or Recruiter of the Guard because Aladmarie's Call is just better most of the time. I don't think we get rid of both. I don't think I want to get rid of more. The other option is to get rid of something like Court of Calling. Thinking of the next end step or your next end step? My next end step. So if I did Court of Calling with a flip Terra into like Autumn Soldier or something, or more likely Spark Double because it costs 2 mana less. If I did that, I could generate infinite Terras on an opponent's turn. But if I had all the things to do that, why didn't I just do it on my turn and kill them? Maybe it is Court of Calling because of the triple green. Like, I still have to pay for the creature, so unless I have a bunch of creatures out, if I have Terra out, I can convoke her. So that's one of the green mana, so it's 2 green plus the casting cost. I need 2 other creatures, in theory. Just be able to pay the mana cost on the creature and put it into play. Like, in order for it to be better than something like Aladmarie's Call, where I can just pay 2 mana more than the casting cost of the spell and still cast it. Theory. Alright, I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have less than 10 tutors in my combo deck. Maybe I can lose the Zulaport Cutthroat. I have Meat Hook and Bastion, and then I have Nadir's Nightblade. Maybe Zulaport's the worst out of them. I think that's probably true. Like, Perforos is close, but Perforos can kill without them having to die and is indestructible himself. Alright, that brings us down to 10 cuts. Actually, let's start the relative bottom and work our way up. Here, let me check the list while we're down here anyway. See if there's anything else I can get rid of. This is the bomb, this is the combo pieces. Apprentice's Folly, Vesuvian Duplimancy, Meat Hook Massacre, Delina, Elspeth, Spark Double, Helm, Perforos, Cord, Animate Dead, and technically Dance of the Dead works down here too. I don't think I can cut any more ramp. Maybe the double white on the Grand Abolisher is not the best. Like, we still have Voice of Victory and Teferi. Or no, did we cut Teferi? Oh no, there he is, Time Raveler. Right, we cut Teferi's protection. Hmm. Maybe we just need something else from the removal side of things. It's possible it's Aura Shards. I've cut so many creatures from the list. Like, it still works when I'm comboing off, and I do still have creatures. But maybe. It could also be Darksteel Mutation. Very good against things that are otherwise difficult to interact with, but past that, it's not great. It is nice that it's an enchantment that I can get back, but that might be one of the very few things keeping it on the list. Yeah, I've got a sub list for removal that has 13 cards still on it with that cut. Like, I need to make room, but I also don't want to not have removal when I need it. So, Autumn Soldier, Unexplained Absence, Collecting Swap, Fierce Guardianship, Windgrace's Judgment. Should get rid of the Darksteel Mutation here. Signet, Scavenging Ooze. Bioduplication, Deer's Nightblade, Recruiter of the Guard. Grand Abolisher, Grim Tutor. Revisits. Imperial Recruiter, Terra. Voice of Victory, Balin. Yenna, Apprentice's Folly, Stroke of Midnight, The One Ring. Duplimancy, Terra Sunder, Offer You Can't Refuse, Safekeeping, Farewell. Meathook Massacre, Delina, Bastion, Elspeth Conquers Death, Claw Talisman, Teferi Time Raveler, Spark Double, Casualties, Smothering Tithe, Assassin's Trophy, Helm of the Host, Zendikar Resurgent, Swan Song, Perforos. Like, almost every card left on the list is actually down in the other section. I think so far it's been the One Ring, maybe, is not down there. Because I don't have a card draw section. Have to Exile, Mana Reflection. Board of Calling, Top's not down there. Ewit. Bowstone, Lightning Greaves. Rari's Wake. Vladmir's Call, Fires of Yavimaya, Aura Shards. Plenish, Grim Monolith, Horn Power Stone, Carpet of Flowers. Maybe we don't need Replenish. It's certainly good in the deck. But I do have redundant combo pieces for all of the enchantments. So maybe we don't need it. Try and come up with stuff that we can afford to cut. We want to keep Scroll Rack. We have way too many tutors. Being able to put back things I don't need and then shuffle them away. Tutors and fetches and land ramp, there's just way too much shuffle effects going on. Alright, so cut these two. Brings me down to 68. Eight more cards. Alright, if I only have to cut 8 more cards, what 8 cards? What 8 different cards? Oh my god, that's so many cards to cut from this list. Alright, removal is the thing that has the most stuff on. What are my combo pieces in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright, what if we did cut Helm of the Host? It's the most expensive one to get going. Like, a lot of the other ones, I just cast the initial thing and we win the game if we have Terra flipped. Whereas Helm of the Host just isn't that. Helm of the Host. It's possible we cut Delina the Wild Mage because she needs another card. Like, she needs one of the other things in play in order to combo kill. Because we already have to be past declare attackers. If I'm looking to make cuts, like, these two are the worst out of the remaining ones. It'd still be Recruiter of the Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 ramp cards. If I were to cut one of them, it would probably be Zendikar Resurgent as a 7-drop. And just keep Mirari's Wake and Mana Reflection. Yeah, it's probably... If I have to make cuts, I think that's the one that can go. And I do think I have to make cuts there. With everything else I have, can I cut Casualties of War? It's sorcery speed. It doesn't actually do anything for the combo the way Elspeth Conquers Death does. And it's not guaranteed to hit everything the way Farewell can. But at the same time, it does hit one of each problematic thing. But I do have Unexplained Absence and Windgrace's Judgment, so... That basically requires, like, one opponent to have multiple things that I need to kill for... You know how much I love Casualties of War if you've watched any of my deck building where the deck is both black and green at the same time. So you know how much this one hurts, but... If I'm being honest, and I'm kind of forced to be... It's probably the most realistic one I can cut. Alright, Helm is 1. Selena's 2. Surgeon's 3. Casualties is 4. Alright. 4 more cuts. Even if I cut Recruiter of the Guard, what are the other 3? 4 more cuts. I was lost in thought there, trying to figure out, like, what am I even cutting here? Grand Abolisher. He's a little hard to cast, and I have 2 other things that just lock opponents out of our turn. Or do I keep something like Grand Abolisher and get rid of something like Tamiyo's Safekeeping? I'm going to try and go off on the same turn. But then, if I have to put a combo piece into play earlier, somebody wants to kill it. Vamp Tutor. I need to make cuts. Got Recruiter of the Guard. Nothing else in the actual combo section, right? Like, Perforos, maybe? Perforos gets around a handful of very specific ways to stop us from winning without us having to be able to cast removal on the effect that's he's circumventing. Maybe it is just Perforos. Like, I need cuts. I would rather have the other ones. Maybe Stroke of Midnight at this point. Yeah, maybe Stroke of Midnight at this point. Rather have Beast Within because I'm more likely to have spare green mana than white mana most of the time, I would think. And the 3/3 versus the 1/1 is very negligible, with it being a combo deck, so. Alright, one more. Just need one more card, and we can call it. Okay, let's get rid of these 3. No, other one. Perforos and Stroke. Alright. Alright, quick count, make sure I've done everything correctly. That we do only need one more cut, because we're only at half an hour, so have time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 5, 6, 37, 38, 9, 40, 41, 2, 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 4, 55, 56, 57, 8, 59, 60, 61. Okay. Count is accurate. So, one more cut. Alright, so I don't have Arcane Signet down here, but I do have it up there. Did I mean to cut Arcane Signet when I cut? I might have, and I don't think I cut it from up here. Right, it's still on the list. Yeah, it's literally right there, so... Okay. Because I think I meant to cut both of them, so... And just use the land ramping ones. Alright, so that brings Terra down to 60. Alright, we're up here. Let's do the lands. Alright, so there's 38 on the list, so we need to cut 3 of them innately to have room for the 5 basics, and then I need to decide if I want to do anything different with the mana base. Alright, Ancient Tomb, Frozen Verge. I think Temple of the False Gods can go, but maybe. That's all of those 10. Those 5. Cavern of Souls for Terra. I mean, she is human on her front face. A lot of my creatures are human. Cavern of Souls is not terrible. Boseiju Who Endures. Destroys Village. Alright, Ishgar the Holy Sea can go. Buys back dead artifacts and enchantments. Command Tower is one of the 5. Ancient Tomb, Verge, Command Tower. I think Temple of the False Gods has to go then. And then it's like Mistrais Village and Boseiju Who Endures, right? It's Command Tower, Ancient Tomb, Frozen Verge, Boseiju, Mistrais Village. What's the last one? Cavern of Souls. Okay. So yeah, one of those has to go. Which one? Kills artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. I think it's both Seiju and keep the Mistrise Village, so we have another way to protect our combo. The other option is Mistrise Village adds 2 mana to any piece of my combo, so in that way it's a little bit worse. But Boseiju is kind of in the food or shelter, not both camp right now, so. Because I did get rid of Crucible. Alright, so now do we want to do anything weird? Do we want to, like, any number of triomes over Shocklands? The deck is very mana hungry. It's possible I don't want to do that just because I don't want to have lands that have to come into play tapped. Like, right now, I don't think I have any left on the list that can come into play. Well, Mistrise Village can, but only if I don't have a mountain or forest in play somehow. So, its ability to come into play tapped is only in the first few turns of the game. Because if I've cast Terra, then it's coming into play untapped, and or if I'm in a position to cast Terra where I need to be uncounterable, it's coming into play untapped. And then at any other point in time, I should have it. So maybe not. It is a little bit tempting to make the mana more consistent for some of the colors, but I think I do just want to have all of the lands coming into play untapped. So yeah, I think we're there. Terra's done. Now I have to decide if I want to actually do a Edge of Eternity's commander or if I want to do VV, because I've been having a ton of fun with VV and Brawl, and I do think I want to see what a VV deck would look like. And with sets constantly releasing, I'm never going to have extra time, so if none of the Edge of Eternity's commanders are really speaking to me as like a unique and interesting deck build, I might just do VV. We'll have to see though. That'll be for next time. So oh, hello Whooper. So Croson Verge gets me 2 lands. So that is true. It is the only thing left that can come into play tapped, but ideally it's setting me up by ramping me, so and fixing my mana. So yeah, it is the only one left where things can come into play tapped. Also, Croson Verge itself, I believe, does Croson Verge come into play tapped in addition to? It's been so long since I've played with one of the things that does that. So Croson Verge, if Croson Verge itself comes into play untapped, then that should be fine. Hey Crosons, find me Verge, not Voreen. Okay, yeah, it does enter tapped. Alright, so it is the only thing that can enter tapped all of the time. So that is fair, but it also ramps me, and I do need a ton of mana for this deck to be functioning properly, so I think I can live with that. Also, it still fixes my mana, so. But you are right, I did forget Croson Verge is coming into play tapped all the time, regardless of what I'm doing. But yeah, that's going to be the deck, so that's going to do it for me for right now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.